Dixon and Vining here on your radio. Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie Vining. How many times have I said that so far this morning? Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie Vining.
Pretty much every time we came back from a commercial
Pretty
break.
much every time, sometimes before going to commercial break, sometimes you
Also
get it twice a segment. I just got a message from somebody going, where's Valerie? How many times do I have to say vacationing Valerie Vining? It's 3. It's a lot of alliteration there. I'm going to start calling her V squared.
That'd be cubed.
Well, yeah, if it's vacationing Valerie Vining, but just Valerie Vining itself is.
Why don't you?
Why don't I call her V squared?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just seem squared to me for some reason. Did
Is that meant as a compliment?
Did I call you K squared before you were K cubed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I probably did. That sounds like me. Anyway, I'm always looking for a shortcut here. Okay, so yeah, she's vacationing and she'll be back on Monday. How about that? Everybody happy? Everybody get it? You understand now? Okay. Glad to hear it. Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com. Mr. Bugs, they know what bugs you, and they will come out to your house, and they will take care of it. First thing you want is an estimate. You know, huge mansions going to cost a little more to treat than little itty-bitty shacks. Whatever you live in, could be a trailer, could be your car, whatever. They'll be happy to come by and treat you for insects on a monthly, double monthly, 3 times every 3 months, whatever, however you want to do it. I moved from monthly to quarterly and found that it did not affect me in any way, shape, or form, except it cost less, which I really loved. And they talked me into it because that's the kind of guys they are. The mosquito reduction is second to none. You're crazy not to get it, especially this year when it has been so wet. You got to get it. And then, of course, small rodent control and termite bonding, they do it all. They just took care of me this past Monday. Everything is done now. I'm good for the next 3 months. MRBUGGS.com, MrBugs.com. They know what bugs you. 9416252. Let's see. Darren texts in and says, "Don't forget the file." What file is he?
I think he's talking filet.
Filet? Oh, filet gumbo.
For the gumbo.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay. That does make sense. I don't even know what filet is, but
It's supposed to thicken. It's made from the okra, and it's supposed to thicken.
I see.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I've gotten I mean, you can, and I've sometimes just would add it to directly too, but it's not necessary.
No, I think you can, like you say, cook down, or you can use the old cornstarch trick. A little bit of cornstarch and water mixed together, and then you add that to the mix, and it'll thicken up a little bit. There's all kinds of gumbos. I've had really thick gumbo, which I enjoy. I've also had relatively thin, soupy gumbo, which I enjoy. Yeah. I think the key word here is gumbo. That's if it's gumbo, I'm probably going to enjoy it. They're not all great. I mean, some are better than others, to be sure.
Yeah.
Your homemade was fantastic. I've had other homemade that I really loved. The gumbo at the fish market on Highway 31 in Hoover is outstanding. And I almost always get either a cup or a bowl when I am there. Sometimes I'll just get a cup and then a side of broccoli, and that'll be dinner for me, and it's fantastic. It makes me incredibly happy. That and 5 or 6 cocktails, and I'm in great shape. Speaking of which, for some reason, I was up a little later than usual last night because I took a 3-hour nap yesterday. A 3-hour nap. Well, I haven't been sleeping very well all week because I haven't been able to breathe. Yesterday, something just loosened up all at once, and I could breathe. And I was just like, oh, let's take advantage of this. Lie down and take a nap. Let's get unconscious. Just as I was lying down, the thunder started. Nothing puts me to sleep faster than a thunderstorm, which is why it's dangerous to be in the car while I'm driving and one kicks in. You don't want that. Anyway, so I fall asleep, 1 o'clock on the nose. I wake up, I look at the clock, 4. I was like, oh, my God. I don't think I've ever taken a 3-hour nap in my entire life. This is...
I wouldn't have slept at all last night.
Man. Well, because I'd been getting 3 hours of sleep a night, that was the best I could do up until yesterday. So I was up a little later than I normally would be, flipping through the channels. What's on? Jaws. I'm beginning to believe that is the perfect movie. I mean, it is so perfectly cast. It is a very simple story. Giant shark is attacking town. Mm-hmm. Mayor doesn't believe it. Mayor finally starts believing it. They go out to kill the shark. They kill the shark. End of story. I mean, it just doesn't get much more pure than that. It's about
Spoiler
a straightforward.
alert.
Oh, sorry. The movie is 50 years old. I don't know if you heard, Darth Vader is actually Luke Skywalker's dad. Anyway.
My youth is gone.
So I don't know. I just got to sit there and watch it, enjoy it. It's an economical film, and it is one of those situations where it's a little bit like Citizen Kane, where you go, did Spielberg make the best work that he did first, and everything from then on has been a struggle? Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I liked, E.T. is okay. I've never really been a big E.T. fan.
I watched E.T. one time in my life, and I've never seen it again.
Whatever. I think I could say that, too. I've probably seen it once or maybe twice.
But I mean, E.T. kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're freaked out by claymation,
Oof.
so yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think about it. Spielberg comes in with this made-for-TV movie called Duel.
Yeah.
And it just makes this big splash, then turns around, uses the same basic formula for Jaws.
It's the exact same story.
You never really see the villain, except it's a big truck, and you see a fin in a shark in the water, but you never really see it.
Right.
And it's the suspense that builds up. And then he follows that up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Not a bad triple bill.
I wasn't that excited by Close Encounters.
But I mean, again, look at how they were received and how they performed.
He did very well. You're absolutely right about that. And then he made 1941, and that was it for him.
Yeah. And everyone went, what the heck were you thinking, dude?
There are a handful of movies that I could watch anytime they come on, and I can actually join them at any time in the film and watch them all the way to the end. Jaws is one of them. Tombstone is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to America.
Coming to America is absolutely one of them.
one.
There's not a lot of comedies really on the list, but Coming to America is absolutely, because you know every line in that movie. It's brilliantly economical. Of the Mel Brooks movies, no point in watching Blazing Saddles when it's being broadcast unless it's on IFC, the Independent Film Channel, which actually broadcasts everything, which is nice. Fox Movie does that too. Young Frankenstein is another one that I can watch from almost anywhere out through.
I will
Armageddon.
inevitably stop. Armageddon is kind of a guilty pleasure. I'll inevitably stop on Smokey and the Bandit if I come across it. I was trying to think of something a little bit more recent. Maybe The Fugitive.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. That's not my cup of tea.
The funny thing is though, when you talk about Jaws, I'll stop and I'll watch for a couple minutes and I'll think, okay, how close are we, or are we past the Indianapolis speech?
Right. That's absolutely my favorite part of that movie. And I was glued to it last night. And I wanted to run a stopwatch on it, but I forgot, because I think it's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that, where Quint gives the entire...
Yeah, it's strangely not long, but man, you want to talk about grabbing.
It is one of the most fascinating pieces of any movie anywhere. It's another thing that makes that movie so spectacular. There's only one other movie that I would consider to be a perfect movie, and that's Casablanca. Not a bad shot in the entire film, which is amazing. How do you go through an entire film with the number of shots that you have to put into a movie, and you can't find a clinker, a flaw anywhere in that film? I mean, you got to like a black and white movie, which is, a lot of people are just like, black and white, never mind. Okay, fine, racist. Be that way. I don't... How did we start this conversation again? Uwe Boll's Citizen Vigilante is going to get a limited release Blu-ray set. Steve, you haven't seen this yet, have you?
I have not, no.
Valerie Vining reached out to me on last Friday, and said, you were talking about this movie, what's it called again? And I told her Citizen Vigilante. We'll find out on Monday whether or not she saw it. It is a cheaply made movie. It looks a little cheap, but it is the kind of vengeance, revenge, justice for the downtrodden movie that I absolutely take to, you know? Just a fantastic film, and now it's going to be on Blu-ray if you can find it somewhere. Region free. The first 250 are limited and autographed by Dr. Boll himself. Will also include 4 lobby cards, a custom trading card, and a hand-numbered slipcover. Ooh. Each film has multiple behind-the-scenes features and commentary by Uwe Boll. This sounds like it cost more than the whole movie itself. Is it? It's cheaply made. It looks cheaply made, but it is extremely entertaining if you like to see justice served up cold.
I'm gonna have to check this out. I'm just hearing too much about it. I got to check it out.
Yeah, you can $6.99 I think to rent it on Amazon Prime or something. Let's see. Oh, this is lovely. one of the former hosts, I guess they're both hosts now still, Jordan Klepper and Ronnie Chang of The Daily Show, are still trying to cling to, oh, we're not biased. We just call balls and strikes. And this is what I find funny. I honestly believe that when you do run across people who say that, they're almost always on the left. People who are on the right side, we know we're biased on the right side. We're well aware that we're conservative and our bias tends to lean in that direction.
Yeah.
You get to left-leaning people and they're like, no, I'm just completely normal. I'm the average person. You're crazy. You're a Nazi. Okay. If you say so. And if you've been waiting for Barbie 2 to show up, you're going to have a long wait. They can't seem to nail down Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and Greta Gerwig, the writer of the original Barbie. And I don't know what the story would be or how they would make it work. I believe, again, spoiler alert, she becomes a real girl at the end of the
Does
first
she?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I
Yeah.
keep thinking I ought to watch it, but I just haven't gotten to the point where I've watched it yet.
I watched it specifically because I had heard so much about it, both good and bad, that when it came available on streaming, I said, okay, let's see for myself. If I hate it, I can turn it off within 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, plus there's the attraction of looking at Margot Robbie.
Yeah, no, no
purely
doubt.
From a guy standpoint.
And by
but
the
still.
way, lots of other Barbies in
Oh, yeah?
that. Yeah. They were all very
Oh, yeah, I
attractive.
do seem to remember hearing about. I think that came up as like a trivia question or something like that.
Very, very attractive Barbies.
I mean, I'm super straight, and I could just sit there and look at Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, she is quite gorgeous. The downside of that film is Will Ferrell playing his usual
Is he
Will
really?
Ferrell role.
I didn't realize he was in this.
Yeah, he plays his usual Will Ferrell role. I mean, he does what Will Ferrell does, and I was just like, okay, this part is stupid.
Is it long?
No, not that long.
Okay, so
fortunately.
blessedly long,
Yeah,
not long, okay.
it pops in and out throughout the course of the movie, but yeah, it's kind of painful. But I didn't hate it. In fact, at the end of it, I was like, okay, that was a strangely enjoyable experience. I liked that more than I thought I was going to. I didn't think I was going to like it at all. So the fact that I liked it at all was like, okay, way more than I thought I was going to. But now they can't seem to nail down any of the people for the sequel. So maybe it ain't going to happen. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Midge. Make the movie Midge. Isn't that Barbie's like younger cousin or something? I want to say. No? You didn't play with Barbies. You're a lady lawyer.
I mean, I had brothers, so no, I didn't play. I didn't play with them at home.
Did they play with Barbies?
But my friends did,
Uh-huh.
and when I'd go over to their houses, but I
Wow.
didn't know their names.
Apparently, she had several cousins.
Yeah?
Just in looking it up.
Was Midge one of them?
Midge was one of them.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah.
There was something called a Skipper.
Skipper, I remember Skipper.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
Skipper. That was the little
Jazzy?
sister, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, Jazzy debuted in 1988 as Barbie's quote-unquote cool teen cousin.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Jazzy.
And Max and Marie Roberts.
Mm-hmm. And Magic Earring Ken. 9:19 with Dixon and Vining. Steve's turn comes up next. 9:23. Dixon Vining, Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie Vining. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Without further ado, what does it do? Why would we want any further of it? It's this guy.
It's Steve's turn.
Well, few streaks in sports last much more than about a season or so, but how about for over half a century? Things like that happen in places like NASCAR, and indeed there is a current 51-year streak that's alive in NASCAR right now, but it turns out maybe in danger of ending at 51 as well. Heading into the final set of races for the Cup O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Craftsman Truck Series, there has been at least one start by somebody by the name of Earnhardt now for 51 straight years. It's a streak that goes back to 1975 when the legend Dale Earnhardt got into the World 600, back when it was called the World 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And since then, at least one race at the top level of NASCAR where an Earnhardt has had at least one start a year. Now, over the last few years, it's kind of changed. Name's been a little bit harder to find. Obviously, Dale Earnhardt died in that faded 2001 Daytona 500, but his son Dale Jr. carried on as a full-time driver. But then he retired from full-time racing after the 2017 season, having suffered from, well, one too many concussions because of crashes. But upon being cleared by doctors, he started to run select races each year, usually one, maybe two, from 2018 to 2024 in what's now the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So what about 2025 and this year? Well, that was covered by Jeffrey Earnhardt. Jeffrey is a grandson of Dale and the son of Dale's other kid, Kerry Earnhardt. Jeffrey drove for Sam Hunt Racing the past couple of years on a part-time basis, got into 3 races last year, but he hasn't raced this year. His performance in those 3 races last year, not quite as good as one might have hoped, but there is always hope for maybe a one-off from somebody, maybe at a place like Talladega, where Jeffrey does particularly perform pretty well over the course of his career. Of course, there's a chance Dale Jr., who's got his own junior motorsports team in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, might choose to do one, but considering he missed the 2025 season, that seems a little less likely. He has completed his broadcast duties for the season, though, so depending on whether or not he gets the itch to drive again could depend on whether or not we see a streak that, well, it hasn't been broken since, think about this, we celebrated year number 250 in the United States today. That streak started the year before we celebrated our bicentennial. So I'd like to see it continue, but at this point in time, I'm not seeing anybody that's really jumping out there to give an Earnhardt a chance to get behind the wheel. 51 years, man.
That's a shame.
It is.
However, all good things must come to an end.
As they say, 'tis unfortunate, but 'tis true.
9:26 with Dixon and Vining, and there is Steve's turn. When you said 50-year streak, I don't know, I was thinking like baseball teams or football teams or something of that nature. But
I know, surprise.
Obviously, racing is
streaks like that. Streaks like that don't last long in stick and ball sports. Certainly not 51 years.
No, they don't. I was just listening. Who was it that was? They were on a winning streak, and they were like coming up on 14. I think they were.
My Red Sox just recently did that.
Yeah, I was like, they're going to win the 14 in a row, and I'm like, of course, there's that great stretch of film in Moneyball where the A's are on a winning streak, and can they make it to 20?
Was it 22, I think
it
ultimately ended up being.
Yeah, they made it to 22, and they ended up losing the 20. I mean, again, all good things must come to an end, but just the fact that they were able to win to that degree. That movie, again, is another movie that's incredibly well made, but boy, you have to like and be a bit of a geek about the numbers. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be kind of a wonk to enjoy that film. It's made by the same people that made The Social Network, and it has all the earmarks of it. You know, it kind of has the same feel, the same flow to it, but the way they use sports radio in that movie is as good as I've ever heard it done. You know, the people that are complaining and picking on and we lost this guy and we got rid of him, and what are we doing picking up this guy? You know, when you work down the hall from Jocks, you hear that. They really nailed it. It's amazing how passionate people get about their teams and how deeply involved they become in the everyday processes of, well, for us, it's college football and it's recruiting. It's getting harder now with NIL, you know.
Or can we get rid of our current coach?
Yeah, a lot of that. I used to, back when I was working at times other than morning, I could listen to Jocks a little bit more frequently, and the days that were really the most boisterous, the days that people see, there were 2 things people really loved on Jocks. One was bragging about how great the Crimson Tide was, but more importantly, ripping them apart the day after a loss.
Right.
They really loved that. That was like their favorite thing ever. Everybody had an opinion. The phone lines were full all the time. And you're like, this was their first loss in a year and a half. We need to fire the defensive coordinator. Like, yes, by all means. Let's throw him on the ash heap of history. I mean, they really, really get worked up about this
Well,
stuff.
and I kind of saw a little bit of it last night because Red Sox go on this 15-game streak of winning nothing. Then they lose a couple of games. Currently, they're on a 9-game winning streak. But last night, the starting pitcher kind of got rocked a little bit. He got saved by the batting lineup, thankfully for them. But he gave up a few, and somebody actually posted on the Red Sox forum, we need to cut Ranger Suarez and the season's over. I'm like, you do realize that in the last 38 games, they just went 32-6. I think they're okay.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. Baseball is one of those games where you can just barely beat 500 and still get into the playoffs, you know?
Oh, especially now that they've expanded the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not the same as college football, where even though they're going to expand the playoffs to the point, I just got a text from somebody who said, no 3-loss team should make it to the playoffs. Now, that depends on who the 2-loss teams are. I get it.
It's about to change. I got news for you. It's about to change.
I believe that's true. I remember when, I want to say, was the 7-6 Giants ended up winning the Super Bowl, something like that. I was just like, that's a terrible record for a Super Bowl winner. That can't possibly be fair. You expect somebody to, well, okay, depends on your schedule, obviously, and how you do in the playoffs. 9:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. A new Reese's flavor coming your way from Culver's. Stick around. 9:35, Dixon and Vining, Talk 995, talk995.com. I remember coming back from Germany. I was there for 2 months in a row. Back between my, I want to say it was my sophomore and my junior year. I think that's true. And, I had the time of my life. I mean, first off, 15-year-olds can drink beer there, so that was nice. Secondly, I love German food, and I got more than my fill of it. It was absolutely delightful. And on the plane on the way back, because the class had gone back, the class was there for 6 weeks. I was there for 2 months. I stayed an extra 2 weeks with my brother, who was stationed in Göppingen, which is outside of Stuttgart. Again, the German language is just so beautiful. It just flows, doesn't it? So here we were on the Flugzeug coming home. And, and I was sitting next to a businessman, and he had a Texas accent. And he said, "You come back from Germany?" I said, "Yeah, that's where we just got on the plane." He goes, "How long are you there for?" I said, "I was there for 2 months, and I enjoyed every minute of it." He goes, "I just want a cheeseburger so bad." I had not thought about that. I really hadn't thought about American food the whole time I was gone. But it's true, unless you go to like a McDonald's in Germany, at least back then, there were no hamburgers. You just weren't going to find somebody serving you a cheeseburger at a restaurant.
It's a Royale with cheese.
The Royale with cheese, that's, I believe, in France, in Paris. But they did have all that fantastic German food, which I dearly adored. And pizza. You could get pizza anywhere in Germany, almost anywhere in Germany. They were all the same size. They were all like 12-inch pizzas. And to them, that's what a pizza was. We're like, in America, we make them 16, 18 inches if you want. Nope, 12 inches. That's all we do. Okay, that's why you lost the war. I'm just saying. 9:36. And Parrot Structural Services, parrotss.com, 668-2626. These guys have got the way to get your foundation back up where it needs to be, assuming it needs to be there. Obviously, you have a slab, they're going to use something different than if you have a crawl space or a traditional foundation or a basement, and you need wall tiebacks or soil stabilization or some helical pier work. The helical pier is such an amazing device. And they won't use just one or two. They'll use as many as it takes. Sometimes it's 37, sometimes it's 112. But whatever it is, they'll use whatever it takes to make sure that they can stand by that life of the structure warranty. They're as good as they come. Parrot Structural Services, parrotss.com to find out more. Get some ideas as to what are signs that your foundation is giving up. 668-2626, licensed, bonded, insured, and E-Verify compliant. A new dessert at Culver's, rotating into the flavor of the day selections.
Okay.
Culver's chocolate fresh frozen custard. It's peanut butter fudge brownie.
Sounds really good.
That really sounds like there's nothing wrong with that.
It's gooey brown pieces, ribbons of Reese's signature peanut butter and fudge, and it's all mixed in with Culver's chocolate fresh frozen custard. This isn't the only Reese's surprise in store for us at Culver's. In September, the chain is bringing Oreo Reese's cheesecake frozen custard to its flavor of the day.
That sounds really good, too.
The flavor features the chain's creamy vanilla fresh frozen custard laced with crushed Oreo cookies, Reese's peanut butter cups, and tangy cheesecake pieces. Oh, baby. I'm getting fatter just reading this. It does sound absolutely outstanding.
Doesn't it, though? Good night.
Now I want a blizzard. Because I want that right now. I don't want to wait. Taco Bell testing a bizarre new French dessert. It's not the same 6 ingredients. How about the creme brulee crunch wrap slider? I had to go back and double check. It's not April 1st, is it?
Well, yeah, I was kind of wondering. Okay, repeat that. Creme brulee. What?
Creme brulee crunch wrap slider.
That's a dessert?
The Mexican-inspired chain is testing the sweet treat at participating restaurants in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where diners can get their hands on the unusual creation for just $1.99. The experimental dessert swaps Taco Bell's traditional savory fillings for a creamy vanilla center wrapped around a crispy cinnamon sugar mini tostada, folded into the brand's signature hexagonal crunch wrap shape inside a warm grilled flour tortilla. To complete the French-inspired twist, the dessert is finished with a crackly, caramelized cinnamon sugar topping designed to mimic the crisp bruleed sugar crust found on a traditional creme brulee.
I'm intrigued.
Okay, how about this? only has 170 calories, 5 grams of fat, 27 grams of carbs, 10 grams of sugar, 3 grams of protein. You know, busting the top on a creme brulee is one of the nicest, most satisfying things you'll ever do.
Creme brulee is up there with the best desserts.
I do love a good pop in that sucker and getting down into the gooey goodness.
That picture has a nice little creme or burnt sugar crust on the outside of that picture that they put in the article.
That caramelized sugar just looks absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. But I must say, it looks shockingly smaller than I wanted it to be.
Well, it's only 170 calories.
Exactly. I was kind of like, wait, can't you make it bigger for 170 calories? No, we cannot. That's the size you're going to get.
What did we talk about, the 11.1 ounce cans yesterday to fit that?
Right.
It is what it is.
Had to fit the 150 calorie quotient that they were shooting for. It's probably good. I mean, we in America, we have been so hell bent on bigger is better, larger portions, to the point where when Cracker Barrel recently scaled back their portions to be more human-sized, people were complaining, like, hey, what are you doing? You're like, seriously, the food doesn't have to hang off the plate every time. We could bring that back. That was one of the things I noticed when I was in Ireland, is that every meal was human-sized. And you'd eat it, and I'd still leave some behind, and they'd be like, you want a bag for that? No, and I got a refrigerator in the room, but it's not going to fit in there, whatever. But you could easily eat till you were full, still leave some on the plate, and walk away, and you felt fine. We in America, we have two problems. Number one is when I was a kid, it was clean your plate. We have the Clean Your Plate Club. There are starving children in Indonesia. I'm like, can we mail this to them? Because I don't really want it.
I didn't remember anything for the next 4 days.
And then, the huge portions, just massive portions, clean your plate. Massive portions, clean your plate. And we created this generation of very fat children who sit around playing video games and can't figure out why they can't get laid later in life. So, yes, it's a problem. But there's not a lot of fat people in Ireland. I mean, I certainly older guys, mostly beer bellies when you run across them. Mm-hmm. There's also a strange... There's two groups of people who I've noticed this about. Prepare for the racism. Both Irish women and Native Americans. Have you ever seen a full-blooded Native American maiden? Just as gorgeous as a human being can be. I mean, they are absolutely stunningly beautiful. Margot Robbie put to shame gorgeous. And they're beautiful, and they're beautiful, and they're growing, and they're beautiful, and they keep getting older, and they're beautiful, and then one day, bam! You're like, whoa, what the hell happened? Suddenly they're a squaw. They're a mile wide. They've got jowls, and you're like, I just saw you 2 days ago. You didn't look like this at all. What the hell happened? Irish girls are the same way. Irish girls are the most beautiful women. They all have these dazzling green eyes and fantastic. And, of course, I'm an old man, so I'm not going to creep on any of these girls. And when I was there, I was 60, 61, 60, I don't know. And so I was like, yeah, I appreciated them from afar, let's put it that way. But I did notice that there were young, beautiful girls and older, jowly, fatter women, and there was no in between. You're just like, how does this happen? Oh, right, it's the Native American thing. Okay, I got it. Never mind. But really, just not really a bunch of fat, middle-aged people there. And considering the amount of Guinness they drink, that's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
But they walk everywhere, too. That has something to do with it.
Well, and the rest of their diet's probably a whole lot cleaner, less preservatives, the whole bit.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked. I picked up a bag of Doritos. I don't know why. I was missing home. I wanted some Doritos, I guess. For one thing, they only come in one size bag. You know, there's not 27 sizes. There's no such thing as a party size bag over there. Everything is the same bag. And I opened them up, and I'm like, these don't look like American Doritos. They tasted fine. But when I started looking at the back of the bag, far fewer chemicals, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. I was like, we ought to look into this.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know why we don't in America. Battle between Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola is increasing, and it's now being fought over the size of the can. We talked about the 11-ouncer yesterday. Well, now they're going to start serving 12-ounce bottles, which is odd because for the most part, your bottles are 16.9 or 20 ounces. Oh, I'm sorry, this is going to be 13-ounce bottle. Coca-Cola introduced 12.9-ounce bottles. We got the 7.5-ounce mini cans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I picked up some Starry Zero Sugar. You ever had Starry? It's the new competition for Sprite. They took Sierra Mist off the market and they replaced it with Starry. It is incredibly hard to find Starry Zero Sugar. They don't even make it in 2-liter bottles. If they do, I've never seen it. The only Starry Zero Sugar that I can find is in cans, and it's the 7.5-ounce cans. And I realized the other day, 7.5 ounces is almost exactly what you need. It slakes your thirst. It makes you happy. Then I go back to water.
That's like that. I mean, if you're gonna drink a soda, that would be like the size. If you're gonna just, I don't know, recreationally drink soda or whatever. But I think of them more for like drink mixers, so that you're not wasting.
Right. I can see that. Sure.
Part of it.
Of course you think that because you're a flaming alcoholic. We all know it. But that's the first thing your mind goes to.
But I just
say that like it's a bad thing.
I just drink straight soda water in mine, but I'll drink straight soda water without the alcohol.
That's true. You don't need that. No, I drink water after I finish this tall glass of 0-calorie sweet tea. I go straight to water. I drink water the rest of the day, and it's one of these after another after another. And at some point, usually around 5 or 6 o'clock when I finish doing show notes, I'm like, I need something other than water. I got to have something else. So a 7.5 ounce can of Starry, zero sugar, slakes my thirst, makes me happy. It's like a little treat, and then I'm like right back to the water again. And staying hydrated has made all the difference in the world. I used to, when I would take my socks off, it would look like they were still on. Until I started hydrating properly, and like we discussed the other day, it's half your weight. Right, in ounces. Like if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of water every day. I drink easily more than that. Of course, I'm also slightly over 200, just a little. Kellogg's just brought an international cereal to the U.S. for the first time. It's Kellogg's Maple Cinnamon Frosted Flakes, eh? It's international. Sounds Canadian, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
They got Tony the Tiger going, they're pretty good, you know?
Don't you want to buy some, eh?
They're not really that. They don't brag that much. A 20.1 ounce box.
20.1.
Yeah, cinnamon maple flavor, which means they probably were originally done in grams because it's, Canadian, and they had to swap it out and make it American. It's an international cereal. I don't think I could do Frosted Flakes again, man. I just went through some Captain Crunch, and
the roof of your mouth recovered yet?
No, I only had one bowl at a time. I never overdid. And it was usually one cup of Captain Crunch and like 6 ounces of skim milk or whatever. But by the end of that box, I was like, I think I've got diabetes. Pretty sure.
There's a part of me that wouldn't mind trying this because, I like maple flavor as a general rule. But, I don't know if I need a whole bowl of cereal of it.
If you buy a box, it's going to sit in your cabinet forever. If you don't like it, it's just going to sit there. And that's why, it's tough, even at 20.1 ounce. Betty Crocker is debuting 3 new baking mixes. You want to guess what they are? They're for fall.
Pumpkin spice.
One of them is pumpkin spice. Congratulations. The second one, we just talked about this flavor seconds ago. Maple. And the third one is, what else says fall?
Gingerbread.
A good guess. That's more Christmassy.
Oh, apple.
Apple cider. Yep. These are the 3 cake mixes that Betty Crocker is coming out with, joining the crowd. I'm shocked that they don't have extra added protein in them, to be honest with you.
Somebody's going, we missed an opportunity.
That's right. We got to start making cake mix with protein in it. 9:49, we're about out of here. Going to hand things off to Skippy and Jimbo. Find out about how John Bird's big birthday celebration went yesterday. He invited all of his friend.
I hope he was able to go.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm otherwise engaged. We'll take a look at the Dixon Divine question of the day as well. Stick around. That's me singing the bass line there. He was meeting you here today. Oh, baby. Tanya Tucker, the original, right? Helen Reddy did a version of it later, but not quite as good. 9:55, Dixon and Vining. Dave says 7-Up Zero Sugar is better next to the almost non-existent RC Cola Zero Sugar. You guys must have gotten the tower fixed because you're still loud and clear on I-65 north of Coleman. Not yet. This is just an atmospheric situation, but enjoy it while you can, I say. Scott says, excuse me, they can't nail down Margot Robbie for Barbie 2? I'd like to help with the efforts.
Get in line.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long one.
Filet is ground up sassafras leaves. Don't add it in too quickly or it will make your roux ropey. I could see that. In the documentary about Jaws, they said all that guy's lines were unscripted just because he was a hell of a captain. A lot of the lines were unscripted. The USS Indianapolis speech was actually a lot longer, and he asked Spielberg if he could take it and go through it and work it down to a reasonable level, which he then did. This is Richard, what's his name? The actor? God, he was good. Robert Shaw.
Robert,
yeah. He goes through it, and he ends up cutting about 3 pages out of it and narrows it down to what works. Then he shows up on set drunk to do it because he thought because Quint was drunk, it would be better if he were drunk. And he wasted an entire day of filming because he couldn't do it at all. And then he came in the next day and apologized to Steven Spielberg and said, let's try it again. I'm stone sober. And that was the version that we got. And it truly is a wonderful, wonderful piece of film. All right, let's dive in and do this, shall we?
Dixon and Vining's question of the day.
When you were young, what was every kid allowed to do but you? Every kid except you got to do this. What is it, Steve?
The first one of those that I remember was everybody talking about watching Saturday Night Fever, specifically the uncut R-rated version.
Oh, yeah.
My parents were adamantly against me watching the R-rated version. They said, wait until the PG version comes out, then we'll let you see it.
And they did.
Finally.
It did come out.
And then once I finally watched my first R-rated movie, all of a sudden, like, gates were open. It's like, okay, watch whatever you want.
Floodgates. What do you got, Catherine Kite?
My parents were not real strict on what we watched. Almost to a weird point. But but my mother would not let me watch Bambi because she thought it would be too traumatic.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
Watching Bambi's mother get shot?
So I've never seen Bambi.
Wow.
Did you ever watch Old Yeller?
No.
It's probably all for the best that you haven't seen Bambi. If Mickey Mouse freaks you out, then you are not going to like this.
Yeah.
I
mean, I still cry. I mean, I saw Turner and Hooch.
Oh, yeah.
30 years ago, and I still cry at the thought of Hooch getting shot.
Poor Hooch.
Yeah.
Poor Hooch.
Definitely don't watch Old Yeller, though.
People
No.
forget Reginald Bell Johnson was in that film, Turner and Hooch. Like, yeah, you're like, Carl
I have to
Winslow?
admit, I hadn't thought about that either.
Carl Winslow was in that? I forgot about that. For me, it was every kid got to ride their bike to the mall, which was about 2 miles away, but it was a busy road. And my mom would absolutely not let me ride my bike to the mall. I was like,
Could you walk?
I couldn't walk. I couldn't. There was no sidewalks. That was the interesting thing. Edina was a suburb of Minneapolis, and it had no public sidewalks. So, you had to ride your bike if you were going to go. And all my friends were like, well, we're going to the mall. And I'm like, and I'm staying home. I'm not allowed. So sad. Brock says, chase after the ice cream truck. Marshall says, watch Dark Shadows. Ooh. Let's see. Play sports in school. I had some severe neck injury at school in gymnastics in 1970. Thank you, Jimmy. Mow the yard. I was 37 before I ever got behind a lawnmower. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, once you start, man, you're never going to stop.
I can relate to that. I appreciate that.
Stephen Legg says, face tattoo. It was a tough neighborhood. Lisa wasn't allowed to have a big wheel. Buddy could not own a motorcycle. Started shaving my legs. I was 10 years old. My legs looked like a forest, said Patricia. Wow. Swear. Stay up late on the weekends. Go on the Cousin Cliff or Benny Carl TV show for my birthday. Oh, Tom.
I was on both.
So sad. Nancy says, get my ears pierced, so I did it myself. My mother took my sister to have her ears done that afternoon, so I didn't mutilate her, too.
Taylor's kind of like you. Every other kid got to ride their bike around the block, but I was not allowed to leave our street.
Have a G.I. Joe. Dance. Seventh-day Adventists don't dance. I'm a rebel, so I didn't want to do anything what everybody else did. That's why I never started smoking. To be fair, I never asked permission, says John. So
there you go.
Jump off a bridge, according to my dad. All right, that's it for us. We are out of here. I'll be back with Valerie Vining, dark and early, Monday morning, 6 a.m. Talking to you then. Dixon and Vining. Bye-bye now.